We've got Pankaj Mathpal joining in. Pankaj Mathpal is, of course, the Managing Director of Optima Money Managers. Pankaj, thank you so much for taking the time. And it may be a little odd for people who've been around for longer than 25 years to accept this, but people who are born after 2000 are now entering the workforce. And this conversation is meant specifically for them. There is so much more information, so much more technology that is available to them as compared to what was available when we started out, and indeed the people that came before us, that they can take advantage of this. So let's start with those people that have just started working. What advice would you give them how to manage their money more efficiently?
Thank you, Alex, for having me on the show. As you started with that Gen Z, they have technology as well as they have a lot of scope for spending money, shopping, gadgets, subscriptions. So there is a lot of scope, means no doubt that their starting salaries or incomes are much higher than Gen X or boomers, but at the same time, scope of spending is much larger. So in this case, first thing is that they should write their budget, and maybe that even daily budget, that how much they should spend, how much they are earning, and out of that, how much they should save for their future financial goals. And based on the budget, they should manage their cash flow. So that is very, very important to start with.
Okay, but let's go a little deeper than that. Let's assume that these are individuals who have not really spent too much time thinking about the goals that they want to achieve. And why would they, right? Why would they be thinking about retirement? Why would they be thinking about buying a house? It's so far in the future that they don't need to worry about these things. And indeed, Pankaj, quite a few of them will say, look, I don't want to park so much of my money aside for things that I might not even need. So what would you say to these people who want to spend most of what they have?
See, that is true. One should have a balanced life. So I'm not saying that one should not spend money and should not do shopping. At the same time, if you take example of retirement, see, retirement may be very far from now, but the way inflation is increasing, they will need a lot of money. And second thing is that life expectancy is increasing. So if somebody start working today, retires at the age of 60, or these days, even that if you talk about Gen Z, they talk about retiring early. So if somebody retires at the age of 55, 60, so there are more 30 years, 40 years to survive on that money. So earlier you start, better it is. So as far as retirement is concerned, everybody will think that why now? There are so many things and so many years are left for that. So why should I start planning for retirement now? But the reason is that because you will need a lot of money for retirement, because life expectancy is big, and after post-retirement years will be much than even earning age. So that is why you should plan. Second thing, if you are talking about Gen Z, many times it happens that after few years of working, they want to do further studies abroad or something. They want to start their own something, to initiate the startup. So in this case also, they should plan something, means they should save some money so that when they start their business or they go abroad for higher studies or something, so that will be helpful for them. So planning is required. They should spend money. They should definitely pursue their hobbies. But at the same time, for their future financial goal, it is important that they should save and invest smartly.
Pankaj, how do you communicate to somebody who's tuned in, who's very young, the advantage of starting early? Because those of us who have spent at least a decade and who didn't take advantage of that first decade of their working lives are now wondering why they didn't do that. But at the same time, they say that the wisdom of retrospect is flawless. How would you tell somebody the advantage of starting early? How do you communicate that?
Alex, I'll give an example here. If somebody wants to accumulate 1 crore rupees in 20 years, and assume that returns are 12%, CAGR is 12%. And based on that, one need to invest only 10,000 rupees per month to accumulate 1 crore rupees in 20 years. But if you delay it by 5 years, just by 5 years means instead of 20 years, now you are left with 15 years. In that case, you'll have to invest every month 20,000 rupees. So double of that. So that is why the cost of delay is very high. If you delay your planning by 5 years, you have to invest double the amount. So like you said, nobody was there to guide us when we started a career. But at this moment, I mean, if you are discussing this, so one has to understand why it is important, because later it may not be really possible to save. If I say that you start at the age of 40 and you save 50% of your salary, it may become difficult because you have more responsibilities that time, and saving 50% is really difficult at any moment. But if you start right now, say 20% of your income or even lesser than that, you start with, and keep increasing your income, your investment year after year by some percentage, it will be very easy to accumulate that amount. And second thing, as I said, it's not only retirement, but your short-term goal as well. Because many people these days plan doing their own business or higher education, etc., as I mentioned earlier. So for that reason also, it is important that one should start early. So whatever you want to save, 10%, 20%, but just develop a habit of saving. That is important. And second thing, when you save, invest that smartly, because sometimes people save money but do not invest it means properly. And what happens that over a period of time, that money loses its value. So that is why you should invest in such a way that it earns higher than inflation, and that too post taxes.
Okay, fair point. The other issue, and I think this is a common trend that I've seen, having spoken to a lot of people that are just joining the workforce. I have colleagues that are experiencing this. Pankaj, they spent a lot of time saving money because they were not spending during the pandemic. As a result of which, they used that surplus to, say, buy an expensive gadget or spend on something that they didn't really think that they could afford. Spending habits are something that you inculcate over a period of time. What would you say in terms of advice for using of, say, a credit card to spend on things that you don't have right now?
See, Alex, I'll say that one should enjoy, means one should have a balanced life. So going out for dinner or with family or friends or buying gadgets, nothing wrong in that. But you should spend your own money, not that what you buy on credit. Means today you buy something, then you know that you have to repay it. And sometime once you do not maintain a discipline, it may happen that you are debt trapped, or means you are paying interest on that money. So when you invest something, you earn on that, you become wealthy, you create wealth. But if you use credit, you pay interest on that. It means that somebody else, bank or that financial institution, they are becoming richer. So that is why whatever you earn, out of that, you make a habit that how much you need to save, how much you need to spend. So like this you plan, but not like that you use credit and then repay interest on that, and sometime you get even debt trap. So please understand the importance of money, have the good relation with money, and means learn how to spend money.
I also wanted to talk to you about how parents of Gen Z individuals can help them spend better or understand the value of money. You yourself have a son that is, I think if I'm not mistaken, about 17 years of age. And you're the best person to ask this. How are you inculcating those spending habits when you deal with him?
Yes, Alex, you are right. I have a 17-year-old son. And see, I'll tell you, everybody, means all the parents, they should involve their children who are, means especially we are talking about the age group, and they should involve their children in financial planning so that they develop better money habits. See, they are not earning, but what kind of relation they will have with the money in future, this will all depend how you teach them. The importance of money, spending, etc., or planning for future financial goals, what parents have done for the children, how they manage. So they should involve so that by the time they start earning, they know that how they can maintain a good relation with money. See, it's not that how much you earn, but how you manage it, how you enjoy that money. That is very important. Many times we have seen that people earn well, but even then they do not know that how much they should spend and how much they should save. Sometimes people are saving only or not spending, or sometimes they are only spending and even miss borrowing money. So you should have a good relationship with the money. That is very, very important. As I said, that parents should teach their children when they are young.
Okay, so that's a fair point. But having said that, would you say that it makes sense to have certain tasks that they are remunerated for even before they start earning in the early years, so that they understand the value of money? So, for example, one weekend you say that maybe you can help by washing the car, and you will be given a certain amount of money as a result of that.
See, Alex, I'll tell you, children do not like this if you give this kind of task and you give money. But if you want to teach the importance of money, even you can give them some money and you can simply tell that you are giving this much, and you want to see that how they manage it, how they spend out of that pocket money. And if suppose you know what is the average pocket money you give them and they spend, but you give little more than that, and then you tell them that I'll see after a month that how much you could save out of that. So you will understand that if children were given extra money, so whether they spend that or they could save that. So this way you can understand that how they are spending money or what is their behavior towards the money. So as you said, that can be a right example. But these days, as I have one son, and I can tell you that I don't think that children will like if you give money for some work. So it may be on a lighter side. But yes, giving money and then monitoring it, that how they are spending that money, that is really one good way of teaching them that how they should spend that money and how they'll manage in future.
I guess children that grew up in the 90s have a very different approach to how they got money, right? But having said that, would you say then that getting pocket money is an absolutely essential thing, Pankaj? Because I think a lot of parents also believe that on a need basis, you come and ask me for whatever you need and I'll give you there and then. But it's important to have a weekly allocation of money that you give your kid.
See, it may depend from one to another, but I believe that you should give some money to children. They should have a freedom. They should have money in their pocket, so that means either the cash or these days, because children in this age group, they carry e-wallet as well. So you are giving them money in their wallet, so they can, so that whenever they need money, they can spend. They should know it. But again, when you give money, you should teach them that how to spend that, and they should not come back to you in between that they have spent what was planned for a week or a month. So that will be a good habit. As you said, that whenever they need money and then you give, it is like then you are controlling so too much. So I believe that once you know that their monthly expenditure is a certain amount, so that much you should give them. That is my personal experience, and I believe that that works well.
Okay, Pankaj, it's been a fruitful conversation, I think, and a lot of young individuals and in fact, their parents will benefit, I think, from this conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you.